Yeah. They told me I wouldn't be nothing.
Mental madness. It's been a week. Hope everything's good with everybody. Appreciate you all for tapping in. If this your first time on, we appreciate having you. You know, if you like the content, subscribe. Take this journey with me as I share the insights of a man, mental madness. Not nothing chaotic or crazy, but just the inner thoughts of a man which you may not have that insight to, because we live in a society where we're told that, you know, men expressing themselves in a certain capacity is considered weak, or a man being vulnerable is weak, or asking for help is weak. The different stigmas and things that men face, I'm just here to share with you all, you know, even in real time, like things that I'm currently dealing with, or have dealt with, or have overcome, and may still revisit, because, you know, every day is a task. Every day is a battle internally for us all. But yeah, oneself. This is episode 4. To my seasoned viewers, if you haven't done so already, subscribe, please. We appreciate that. Share it. I want to create this platform to give our brothers a place they can feel comfortable with speaking. Again, I always provide email if you guys want to stay in contact, start a group chat, you know, a book club, Mental Madness, nwk@gmail.com. Mental Madness. Madness spelled in this proper way, mental spelled in this proper way. Mental Madness, nwk@gmail.com. And even if it's things you want to discuss through me, you know, you want to present something you want to be shared with everyone that you feel like is going to be beneficial to, you know, our growth as a community and as a people, let's get it. But the topic of discussion in this segment is oneself. And I think for us brothers, it's a lot of us, I think as individuals, we don't never take a time to reflect, like, look at our, I guess, toxicities, you know, our imperfections, because we all have them, and try to go back to see what the root cause of it may have been. And I know for me, I can't say abandonment, but I can say that, you know, because I've been sold so many dreams, my level of trust in what someone says is not very high. And I kind of tell people I don't hold it against them, but I used to hold it against people for real, and sometimes I still do. You know, because you're so let down, you're so used to being let down that it's kind of like, you know, men don't sit and have these type of conversations, because just to say that you felt let down with things is already going to be perceived as weak. But I'm not really concerned about nobody's perception of me. I'm secure in who I am. I know what I am and who I am and what I'm capable of. But internally, I know a lot of brothers can relate. Hopefully, you'll admit it to yourselves. You feel let down, just like every other human feels let down when they were expecting something to go a particular way and it didn't. You know, you go through so many letdowns, you know, albeit your parent, or albeit a opportunity that you thought that you was qualified for and it didn't happen. We've all felt let down at some point or another. And because of that, I listen to what a person says, but I'm real, like everybody always say, I'm real big on actions. Integrity means everything to me. I'm not perfect. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm not the most anything. I'm a person with flaws. So at times, I may even commit to something verbally. And because of my pride, when, for whatever reasons, if I'm not able to do it, not because I don't want to, but if I'm not, for whatever reasons, things come up and I'm not able to keep my end of the thing, my word, I at times, in times past, have felt like a lame. You know, so that allowed me to understand another person letting me down. Not to say that I let people off the hook. You know, we all should hold one another accountable, but I tend to try to hear why. You know, because I know for me, I'm so accustomed to, you know, meeting everybody's needs that I can't let people down. You know, I know what let down feel like, so I can't do that shit. So even when my intentions are pure and true, my actions don't always meet the same radius of what, you know, my intent or my verbal commit is. You know, and a lot of us, you know, we do that. You know, some people just be lying, but for me, that's not the case. My intent is to always be true to who I say I am. Will I make mistakes? Absolutely, we all will, and we'll be all deemed as hypocrites because we can give some great advice, and the advice we give is a lot of the times we can't even live up to those lofty words, for lack of better term. So it happens, and I just want individuals to understand that it happens. Don't become passive about it to where as though you fall into a habit of continuously doing it. Be honest with yourself before you commit to anything or before you speak, and also remember this, something that, Brother Dame said on the previous episode. You don't have to live up to anyone else's expectations of you. Pray the creator, he's the only, in my opinion, that's the only expectations you should strive to live up to. And even the creator knows that you will fall short at times, and he shows compassion. Well, people, when we fall short, a lot of us aren't compassionate. I know that I'm not gonna say that I'm compassionate all the time either. I may not lash out or treat a person differently or on the surface, but beneath the surface, it bothers me a lot of times. But that goes back to what I said initially. As a man, we don't feel comfortable letting you know that things bother us. We have to put on this facade, as if we good. But you'll be surprised, man. If you get a brother that's transparent and okay with being transparent, you'll be surprised at a lot of things that bother a lot of guys. It's going to be different because it's different. It varies from woman to woman. Some women feel uncomfortable with their mate having female friends, and some women don't feel uncomfortable with that. Some men feel uncomfortable with their lady having male friends, and some men don't feel. So you're gonna get different variations, But just that, and a lot of us we lacked a lot of things, man. A lot of us came up in single parent homes, and if you grew up in a single parent home and you were being raised by a mother, I can only assume that she had to be the enforcer and the nurturer, and sometimes the lines get blurred, and there's no nurturing, and there's more enforcing than there is nurturing, or there's more nurturing than there is enforcing, and then it's an imbalance, and you may have a young man that can grow up and be, extremely, have a lot of masculine traits and be a man, no shot to anyone, but just have masculine characteristics. When I say that, I mean he understands the responsibilities and the standards that you may have given him, privy him to understand. And he may have took those things the seeds that you planted and grew and learned more about maybe what the creator says a man should be. He strives to live up to that. That's what I mean by masculinity. And he embodies it. He falls short. And then you got some, they grew up with who are more prone or privy to show their emotions, but they don't know how to be a backbone. They don't know how to take charge. They don't know how to take initiative. They're more passive. And then you have some passive aggressive. You get different, personality traits and character traits in individuals. I can say that I identify more with the more masculine, but the lack of nurturing and sensitivity and gentleness, And it's not to take a shot at anybody, because circumstances are circumstances. I thank God for my mom. She did the best she could. I think she did a great job. I love her to death. But, and because I know that about myself, I identify as an adult that that's one of the qualities that I look for, in people, in individuals, not just a significant other, even a brother. When I say nurturing and knowing how to and understanding, I mean that you can look at a situation and you can dissect it, or you can embrace it from a perspective that's not so aggressive, or doesn't feel like it has to place high, lofty standards on itself to bridge the gap, for lack of better terms. I don't want to banter and go on and on, because I could talk forever about these things, and I just want to engage us to understand that it's okay, the brothers, it's okay to have these type of discussions, to talk about these particular topics and so on and so forth, because we're all at different stages in our lives. We all have different experiences, and we can all, each one teach one, reach out to the generations coming up, because a lot of the things that we're seeing is because of the things that we experienced growing up, we just handled them differently. You got a lot of angry individuals. You got a lot of angry young men. You got a lot of young men that don't understand these thoughts and things and these desires and all this influence. So I just want us to create a platform where we could talk about these things and share our insecurities and share our vulnerabilities. Because a lot of us grew up to be adults with these same problems because we never took a look at oneself. We never took a look at the root cause of why we are the way we are currently. And it's embedded in us because we may, again, some deal with abandonment issues. Some deal with being let down, let down issues. Some deal with trust issues, to stem back from not just a man or a woman hurting them. Someone they may have held in high standard, may have made a promise to them or may have given their word about something and it wasn't done, and it was probably repetitive over and over and over again, where their trust was mishandled and tarnished and it wasn't valued. You got to learn those things. What makes a person feel valued? A lot of things, shit like that. A lot of things we don't talk about as men. Was just talking it up with my cousin yesterday. He was like, it's crazy how, he was like, society, feminism is kind of like, not kinda, but it's detrimental, especially in the black community, because the value of a man is, he was like, you see women get praised all the time for being a single mom, but what about the single fathers? Ain't nobody beating their doors down. He was like, he also said, he was like, for Valentine's Day, for instance, a man to go buy a woman flowers, candy, jewelry, whatever, and on Father's Day, they want to get a brother some tools or some shit to do some yard work or dress up and give you some ass. Nah, give me a gift. We make love frequently, so. And he was just like giving the different perspectives of how men are not really valued. We're not really looked at the same. We're not looked at, we talk about equality amongst the genders. As far as how we treat and interact with each other, we're not treated the same. And we're not valued the same or praised, or, there's not much adoration for a lot of men. Unless you making 7 figures and you taking care of a woman, you're praised. I just had this conversation. I think individuals, no, I don't think that it's a man's responsibility to take care of a woman who's physically able to take care of herself. Can we build together? Will I do things for you? Absolutely. That's what I think it should be. It's a partnership we build together. If I can't sit on my ass and you take care of me, you shouldn't be able to do the same thing. That's a controversial topic, but it is what it is. That's my perspective. For the brothers, tap in. Like I said, I appreciate all who viewed, who will view, and who have been viewing. If you haven't done so, hit that subscribe button, like this, share it. Again, any topics you want to discuss, any questions you have, any comments, email mentalmadnessnwk@gmail.com. Again, mentalmadnessnwk@gmail.com. Peace and blessings. I hope you all enjoyed this little episode. Oneself, tap in. Brothers, don't be afraid. Express these things. Have open dialogue, with yourself and with your loved ones, or if you're in a relationship, have dialogue with your partner. Let her know what's really going on inside, because maybe she can give you, that which you desire. A lot of us don't even say what we really want. That's another topic of discussion.
They told me I wouldn't